estate boy, and welcome to my series on home buying. Today, we're going to be talking about the biggest lies told in buying a home. There's a lot of false information out there. So, a lot of people are renting when they could be buying. So, I'm in this part, okay, or in this episode, I'm going to be diving into the biggest lies told in buying a home. All right, y'all. So, let's get started. Again, this is me, Khalid Nathan Alim, Philadelphia's real estate agent with EXP. And here's all my contact information. Now, if you do need to contact me, definitely hit me up, 267-930-1249. Or you can always go to my website, www.mekhalid.com. So let's get into these lies, man, people tell. Here's the course track. All right. If you're on Instagram or if you're on TikTok, you're not going to be able to see it. But we're going to talk about these home buying myths. We're going to get started. We're going to talk about the renter's smart track, getting your credit straight, getting your mortgage ready, and then actually buying a home. Now, we're not going to go take care of all that today. In this particular episode, we're going to be talking about the biggest lies that people have in their mind when they go to buy a home. So, what's myth one? Myth number one is that you need a perfect score, a perfect credit score, in order to purchase a home. That's myth number one. Myth number one is that you need a perfect credit score to purchase a home. Now, what's the truth of that? The truth is that you don't need a perfect credit score to purchase a home, all right? Now, it is true that the higher, matter of fact, let me share this. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen here so you guys can actually what I am looking at, okay? Okay, there we go. So it is true that a higher credit score, the higher your credit score, the better your interest rate will be, and the more you'll save in the long term or the long run. But while there are benefits to a perfect credit score, even if your credit score is less than perfect, you can still qualify for a mortgage. Some mortgage loan products and buyer programs approve credit scores as low as 620, even 580. Okay, but it pays to shop around. So the first step is that you want to find out what your credit is and then take steps to improve it if it needs to be improved. Okay, here's the thing about the credit gets you in the door. Okay, but I've had people who maybe 2 or 3 years ago their credit score was 650. And they said, you know what? No, I want to wait. I'm gonna wait for my credit to get better. And they waited for their credit to get better. But what happened is when they waited for their credit to get better, mortgage rates went up. So they really kind of negated what they were trying to do. What I usually tell people is that if you're qualified, what you need to do is get pre approved and see what you can afford and see what you can afford. Does that translate into a house that you want versus waiting for the perfect credit score? Yes, the better your credit score is, the better the interest rate will be. But you don't want to wait for that the interest rate up because interest rates move every day. So you don't want to wait for that. Interest rates go up, and now you have a 700 credit score. Like for example, right now, you may have a 700. Let me take. Uh, Hello, Scarlett. Yes. Okay, yeah, let me do that. It's actually meetkhalid.com. Meet MEET Khalid KHALID.com. If you go there, go all the way down and you'll see Philly First Home Grant. No problem. Oh, sorry about that. Just had a person call in, so I had to take that real fast. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off so nobody else is able to actually call me while I'm doing this. Okay. why you guys are actually with me. So let's move on to myth number two. Okay, what's let me hide this? What's myth number two? Let's take me back to number one. Myth number two: a buyer must put down 20% to buy a home. That's myth number two. Myth number two is that a buyer must put down 20% to buy a home. It's the truth. The truth is that a buyer does not need to put down 20% to buy a home, okay? This is probably the most common and most harmful home buying myth. It keeps renters in a rat race and stifles home ownership. Traditionally, buyer received a 30-year mortgage loan with a 20% down payment. But times have changed. Today, there are many mortgage loan options available to buyers based on their credit score and their income. There are down payment options as low as 3% and down payment assistance programs available for buyers for low and moderate incomes. So people used to think that you needed to put 20% down. That's just not the case these days. You don't have to put down 20%. You really should be putting down maybe 3 to 5, the 3 to 5% based on your credit. Okay? So that's myth number two. Myth number three is that the best time to buy is spring. We're in spring now. And a lot of people think that that's the best time to actually buy. The truth is, the best time to buy is not spring necessarily. Okay, the best time to buy is when you are emotionally and financially ready to buy. Serious buyers, or excuse me, serious sellers and sellers who may be willing to negotiate put their home on the market when they need to sell. Homes listed during non-peak times um, could be from highly motivated sellers. So just focus on what you and your family needs are, such as getting settled in prior to the upcoming school year, or taking advantage of the summer off, or relocating for a job, or moving into a new home just in time to have a family celebration. So the timing really should be based on the person's needs, not so much because it's spring or because it's fall or because it's summer. No, what are your needs? Because people always ask me every day, when's the best time to buy a home? When's the best time to sell a home? And I always tell them, hey, listen, people are buying and selling homes every day, 365. So it really doesn't matter as far as when, it's just when your situation allows you to buy a home, okay? So home sell and buyers buy homes all year round. I just said this, okay? I'm just going to another side. I just said this. If you choose a neighborhood where you want to live and a home that's attractive and structurally sound, then you probably won't go wrong. The home only needs to fit one family, yours, no matter when you buy it. Okay? So let's move on to the next myth. The next myth is that renting is cheaper or better than buying. Again, the next myth is that renting is cheaper or better than buying. What? The truth is that renting is not always better or cheaper than buying. In Philadelphia, they just had a article 2 days ago that in Philadelphia is about four big cities where renting is cheaper than buying. So Philadelphia is definitely one of those. But in general, renting is not always better or cheaper than buying. It completely depends on your circumstances and where you're looking to buy. In some areas, it could be less expensive to own a home, like Philadelphia. Many buyers buy because they want more peace, they want more security, they want more control, they just want more stability. Although you need to account for ongoing expenses like maintenance, insurance, and HOA dues, if that pertains to you, luckily there are tax deductions that can ease some of that burden. So this is real fast, okay? All right. Also, in some circumstance, renting is a far better option and could save you money in the long term. For example, if you're only going to live in a home for a year, okay, it's most likely a smarter financial decision to rent than buy. So make a list of your pro and cons of buying versus renting to help you put your why into perspective. There are certain aspects where renting is better than buying, okay? But you just can't blanket, you just can't put out a blanket statement out there to just say, okay, renting is better or cheaper than buying. It doesn't work like that at all. All right. What's the fifth myth? Fifth myth is having debt disqualifies you. Okay. Again, what's the fifth myth? The fifth myth is that debt disqualifies you. What's the truth? The truth is that having debt does not automatically disqualify you. Again, having debt does not automatically disqualify you. There's no need to frame, all right? Being in debt won't automatically prevent you from getting a mortgage. Your existing debts might be more of a speed bump than a roadblock on your path to home ownership. Lenders will look at your debt to income ratio or DTI to determine what percentage of your income is needed to cover all of your monthly debt obligations. The lower your DTI, the better your chances of qualifying for a mortgage. So just because you have debt doesn't mean that you can't get a loan. Now, here's the thing. If you don't have any debt, and I'm talking about credit card debt, it's hard for you to get a credit score that's decent. Why? I come in contact with a lot of people, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is that, well, I don't owe anybody, I don't have any debt. But then their credit score is still like a 580. I'm like, darn, why is your credit score a 580? Because you don't have any debt. That credit card wants to see, that credit card score wants to see how you use debt. And if you don't have any debt, sometimes it's better to have bad debt than it is no debt. So if you're one of those people where it's like, well, I don't want to have any debt, that's great. My suggestion is to get one or two credit cards and just use them for gas or use them for gum. But you want a track record. You want to show that credit score that you can handle debt. All right. So again, debt does not automatically disqualify you from getting a loan. Now, poorly managed debt is more likely to cause roadblocks because it affects your credit score. And it's a bad idea to charge up balances on your credit card before you try to get a mortgage. If your debt lowers, excuse me, if your debt lowers your credit score or raises your DTI enough, it could lead to your mortgage application being turned down. And we'll cover DTI in a different course. So you really want to watch that. You want to this poorly managed debt. What they're talking about is your debt utilization. Your debt utilization is how much debt you're using compared to how much debt you have access to. For example, if your credit limit is $1,000 and you used $500 of it, now you're at your debt utilization is at 50%. They really want you down at under 30%. But this is not the credit card class, so I'm not going to go into that too much, okay? So the next myth that shopping for a home is the first step in the buying process. Again, myth number 6 is that shopping for a home is the first step in the home buying process. Oh, this is a heavy one, okay? Shopping for a home is not the first step in the home buying process. Again, I'm going to stand on a hilltop. Okay. Shopping for a home is not the first step in buying a home or in the home buying process. Now, there's nothing wrong with window shopping or browsing to gain some inspiration. But before you start house hunting, you'll need to know how much home you can afford. What you think you can afford and what the lender will approve you for can be two entirely different numbers, okay? Preparing for home buying is a critical step in the process that can be overlooked, okay? I don't know what, okay, let me. So you have to prepare to buy a home. It's not just, okay, let me go and see homes. No, you have to prepare to actually buy a home. All right. Why it's not? Uh, that's not really what I wanted. Right. We're at number 1 second here. I went all the way. I didn't do that. It went all the way back for some reason. Um, we're we're on what, number 6, right? Okay, number 6. All right, but this, stay with me. Okay, stay with me. All right, number 6, shopping for a home is the first step. And again, that's a myth, all right? Shopping for a home is not the first step. You really need to get pre-approved, okay? Not preparing leads to wasted time. It leads to rejection. It also leads to disappointment, and it leads to a dead end. Only after you know how much home you can afford and what you qualify for should you actually go house hunting. So don't waste a realtor's time, but probably more importantly, don't waste your time because because you don't know. You don't know what you can qualify for. And I actually had one buyer who we were going out and they didn't have a pre-approval, and we found a home that they actually liked, and we almost lost the home because they needed to get pre-approved. It was like a Saturday night. So a Saturday night, the banks are closed, so if you have a bank, they're closed. So I got somebody to get him a pre-approval. But the point is that because he didn't have a pre-approval, we almost lost out on his dream home. All right. But you want to see what you qualify for. Also, going through the pre-approval process will let you know the kinks in your armor. So if there is some things on your credit report, going through the pre-approval process will show those so you can fix them. But if you never go through the pre-approval process, you won't know financially what the chinks are in your armor. So that's why you want to go through the pre-approval process so you can understand, okay, how much home can I actually afford? The seventh myth is working directly with a seller without a buyer's agent will get you a better deal. Again, myth number 7 is that working directly with a seller without a buyer's agent will get you a better deal. What some people think is when they're going to see homes, well, let me contact the seller because the seller or the seller's agent, and I'll get a better deal if I contact them versus me having a estate agent or a buyer's agent. Okay. The truth is that working directly with a seller will not, will not get you a better deal. Okay. You don't know what you don't know. A real estate transaction needs a critical eye and knowledge of the paperwork requirements, general rules, and laws. Okay. It is the single largest investment most of us will make. It requires an enormous amount of energy, effort, and resource. Okay, have a real estate agent. It costs not a real estate agent, a buyer's agent. Excuse me. To have a buyer's agent costs some, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. So if you're buying a home, it behooves you to have a real estate agent. There's a lot of moving parts during the transaction. So you need somebody that does this every day. Why? Because this is probably the largest financial decision that you have to make. Probably the largest. So that's why you definitely need a buyer's agent. Okay. Next is I'll skip this point. All right. Matter of fact, let me go back to the other one. Okay, it says a buyer's real estate agent can step in, initiate, and track the buyer's transaction, negotiate price, and contract terms, and help uncover pitfalls of a particular home or the market in general based on their prior knowledge and know-how. Okay, and keep in mind that the seller is going to pay the commission whether or not there's a buyer's agent. The listing agent will simply earn double the commission. There's no savings to the seller or buyer when the buyer doesn't have an agent. So some people think, oh, well, let me go straight to the seller. It's going to save me something. It's not. Because in most transactions, it's the seller that pays the commission. So if the seller pays the commission and you go with the seller's agent is just collecting both commissions. All right. So it really doesn't behoove you to go with the seller versus having a buyer's agent. And when you go with the seller's agent also as a buyer, the selling agent's client is the seller. You become a customer. You become a customer. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Moral of the story is that if you're buying a home, you should have a buyer's agent that represents you. Okay, so moving on, the myth number eight. Myth number eight is that a loan buyer can't compete with a cash buyer. Now, when you buy a home, you can buy it with a loan or you can buy it with cash. Okay. So there's a lot of people who think, oh, this person, they're going to pay cash for it. The next person's going to pay cash for it. I'm getting a loan. So maybe I shouldn't compete with them. Maybe I should just buy another house. The truth is that a loan buyer can compete with a cash buyer. That's the truth. A loan buyer can compete with a cash buyer. Cash is not always king. Okay. All right. Cash buyers, number one, expect a discount. Cash buyers want a discount because they pay in cash. Okay. And because they're offering cash and they also have a quick close. So it'd be a quick close and they're offering cash. So they usually want some type of discount. Here's the thing. Not all sellers are interested in giving discounts and will wait patiently for the right offer. I always tell my seller clients, for the most part, you'll get more money for somebody that's getting a loan versus somebody that's getting cash. So there are owners out there that want cash, they want a quick close. But at the same time, you also have sellers out there who don't care. They can wait patiently and they don't want to give up any discounts or they have to sell a home for a certain price. So even though they will love that cash, for example, if a person's payoff was 150 and a cash offer came in at 140 and you offered 170 because you had a loan, you would probably win out. Why? Because that seller has a mortgage on that property for 150, so they can't take 140. Okay? Y'all, let's keep it moving. And also dealing with that, there are some things you can do to ensure your offer stacks up. For starters, your mortgage loan officer should be able to give a quick call or give a quick close if they got you pre-approved prior to putting in an offer. So that's one thing with cash is that a lot of times it can close a lot sooner than somebody that's getting a loan. But if you have the right realtor and you also have the right lender, you can do it in 2 to 3 weeks, even though most of the time it's 30 to 45 days. But you can get something closed in 2 to 3 weeks. Shoot, I know one um I know one lender that can get it closed in 7 days. What's the biggest time frame in the home buying process? Usually it's title coming back and the mortgage underwriting. All right, and that mortgage underwriting including the appraisal. So that usually takes up most of the time, right? So secondly, many long-term homeowners like to know that there's a real person or a family behind the offer. So when a seller is faced with two similar offers, one from a cash investor and the other from a person who really wants to become a member of the community and live in the house and makes that known, a buyer with a solid offer and a pre-approval may be selected over all cash investor. Okay, and in most cases it is not in the seller's best interest to discount the price of a home if the home is priced fairly and in a good condition. So there are many moving factors, and there are many situations where somebody with a loan might beat somebody with cash. So just because has cash, don't tap out. That's really what we're trying to say here. All right, myth number nine. Myth number nine is that buyers should never offer full price. Again, myth number nine is that buyers should never offer full price. Here's the truth. The truth is buyers should offer full prices depending on the market, okay? Believe in this myth, believe in this myth in a seller's market, all right? You'll be disappointed as your offers get rejected. All right. So if you believe in this myth in a seller's market, you're going to be disappointed because you're going to get rejected over and over and over. The market determines how hot, warm, or cold your real estate bid or offer needs to be. In a seller's market, many buyers offer over asking price to get the home that they want. Don't let your dream home slip away. If you really want a particular home, you'll want to present a strong offer, leaving room to up the ante if your offer is countered or rejected. So it really depends on the actual market. It depends on the market whether you should what you should really offer. And that's where working with a real estate agent comes into play, okay? So it says while a real estate agent wants to negotiate the best price for the home you want, they have other ways to help you save money within the terms of the contract while still offering a full price. So you can still offer a full price, but at the same time get some concessions on the back end. So it says uh, an experienced agent knows how to position you as a buyer to get noticed. He or she also has an idea based on the market value, price, and condition which home should get a lower offer, a full price offer, or an overbid. You won't win them all, okay, but you'll have a much better success rate, okay, if you what listen to the experienced agent as myself. So there are different things that you can do where you're still getting what you want, but you're giving a full price offer. For example, let's just say that somebody wants to they see a home for $200,000 and they're like, you know what? I only want to offer 190. Okay. What I usually tell them is, okay, that's $10,000. From the seller, it doesn't matter where that $10,000 comes from. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It's from their bottom line. So, but with the buyer, it definitely matters. If you take that 10,000 and you spread it over 30 years, it comes to like 333.33 a year. So in actuality, you're taking $10,000 off the price, but so now it's 290 instead of 300, but your savings is $333 a month. Okay? That's it. Versus if you give them a full price offer, but you take that $10,000 and you get seller's assist with it. If you get seller's assist with it, that's $10,000 now instead of $10,000 in the future or spread over 30 years. Myth number 10. Myth number 10 is if you rent, you won't pay property taxes. Again, myth number 10 is that if you rent, you won't pay property taxes. All right. Here's the truth. If you rent, you do pay property taxes, okay? When you rent, you help your landlord, you help pay your landlord's mortgage and property taxes. When you rent a home, your landlord factors in a number of expenses into your monthly rent like property taxes and maintenance costs. You might not be sending a check to the state government specifically for a tax down payment or a tax payment, excuse me, but your rent will be used to pay your own taxes, right? I think that's kind of self-explanatory. You're not taking your check and sending it down to whoever they're paying to the municipality. That's the word I was looking for. The municipality building, but your landlord is factoring that in. For example, I'm in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia just did a reassessment of the property values in the entire city, where the average went up 31%. So that means that property taxes are going up. I got a property where the property taxes tripled. Okay, this dude is knowledgeable. Okay, so where the property taxes triple. So now I'm just passing that on to my tenant because now my margins have shrunk. Okay. So what's myth number 11? Myth number 11 is that home maintenance is too expensive. So there are a lot of renters that think that home maintenance is too expensive. That's myth number one. Myth number 11. The truth is, home maintenance is not too expensive, okay? That's the truth. Now, while maintenance and upkeep is a determining factor for many home buyers, here's the secret. Home maintenance doesn't have to be expensive. Many homeowners choose to purchase a home warranty to protect their budget against unexpected costs due to failures of the systems and appliances. And in many cases, a seller will include a warranty as part of the sale or transfer the existing warranty to the buyer. So, one of the things that you can do if you're afraid of unexpected appliance breakdowns or system failures is you can get a home warranty. The home warranty will pay for those things that break. All right. So, but the truth of the matter is that home maintenance is not too expensive. Next, we already went over what a home warranty was. So I'll go over that again. Right? So here are the benefits of buying a home. Okay, broke into four categories. Number one is personal. Okay, here's the personal benefits of owning a home. You get greater privacy. That's number one. Number two is you have more freedom to do what you want to do with your home. Okay, you have freedom to do what you want to do. You have the more freedom to do what you want to do with your home. You don't have to ask the landlord every time that you want to paint or change the tile in the bathroom. All right. Also, you'll have a higher self-esteem and more happiness because you own the property versus just being a renter. If you're a renter, that's fine. But it's almost like driving a car. When you own a car, you take better care of it. When you're renting a car, you know you slam the door, you doing donuts in the street, you turn the music up real loud, you going over potholes at 100 miles an hour. You take care of stuff more when it's yours. All right. So owning a home boosts your self-esteem and it makes a lot of people more happy. Number two is socially. Socially, the benefits of owning a home is you have the freedom to entertain. My grad my never own my home. You can entertain who you want to. If you're in a apartment or you're renting, the landlord can put stipulations over who comes in that house or who lives in that house. Okay. So also some of the benefits is socially is that it builds a strong community because renters a lot of time they don't care about the actual areas that they rent in. That's why the government tries so hard to encourage home ownership because people who own their home tend to take better care of it. And also, when you own a home, you look to put roots there. So you'll go to the PTA meetings, or your kids are involved in school there. So you may go to the county meetings to kind of see what's going on. Okay, why? Because you have ownership. Because you have ownership. Number three is lifestyle. If you have this if you own a home, you have more control over your expenses because they're fixed. You got a 30-year fix. So yeah, there can be some variable expenses, but the bulk of what you're going to pay, you already know. Okay. Okay. A lot of times in places where people own homes, the crime rate is lower. Okay. A lot of times. And also owning your home provides you with financial stability. Why? Because you already know what you're going to pay. You already know what you're going to pay, so that enables you to plan. All right, number four, as far as the benefits of owning a home, is financial. Financially, you get tax incentives, you build equity, and you also you can use that money to to finance your education. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. And this is probably one of the biggest things of buying a home is taking part in the equity. You want to be able to take part in the equity. So when the house appreciates or when it costs more to buy that home, then you can get some money from that. And that's one of the worst things about renting is that you have no hand in the equity that buildings have or that homes have. So you're just kind of sitting on the sideline. And having a home is one of the only investments where you can buy part of it and control the whole thing. You can buy part of it and control the whole thing. Okay, so it's very unique in that way. Super duper unique. All right. So again, this is me, Khaled Nathan Alim, the real estate boy. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I got you. And remember, this is part of a course. So if you're in the course, just go on to the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out.